Hey folks, welcome back to my channel. It's another Chatty Get Ready with me today, and this one is a little bit different because this time here with Paige, and of course we both love makeup, so we're getting ready to go to a shift at the studio today, and I figured we would sit down and do a Chatty Get Ready with both of us today.
Yeah.
So as y'all know, usually when I do these, I have like something that I want to talk about or something that I want to cover, and this time I wanted to let Paige kind of talk about something, that was important to her and relevant to her.
Yeah, something that is super important to me as someone who has struggled with body image and weight and dysmorphia for their entire life is the fat phobia in the piercing and tattoo industry.
Which is particularly bad in our industry, despite it being an industry that's supposed to be about like loving your body and embracing your best self.
Yeah, definitely. And it's one of those things that I feel like it's very internalized. Like no one's like straight up being like blatantly fat phobic. It's just like little things that are just so obviously fat phobic.
Well, it's like how in a lot of the piercing groups that we're in, piercers don't know the weight limit on their tables. And like once a month someone will post and be like, yeah, I had a client sit on my table and they broke it and I didn't know that this could happen. And people are out here using tables with a 200-pound weight limit, which would like barely hold me in a pair of large Doc Martens or Demonius boots.
Yeah. And just little things like that where it's just, not even little things like that where it's so easy to just put the effort in and like look at something like that. For example, my table at my shop, I wanted a pink table specifically, and I searched for weeks trying to find a pink table with a very high weight limit because I knew how important that was to myself and I knew how important it was to my clients. And nothing's worse than when you have someone in your table or on your chair and they feel like they're gonna break it if they move at all. Like I got that thing, it said it had a 600-pound weight limit, and I like legit was like jumping on it to make sure that it was not going to break.
Yeah, it's wild. And like the fact that a thread like this happens like once a month in the forums that we're in, and yet still people are like not checking weight limits on tables that they purchase or like not making that information readily available. And I did a blog post about this where I interviewed another piercer and another client of mine. They had the great suggestion to like post this stuff on your website, and like some people listened, but I feel like a lot of folks just didn't really take it that seriously, which really bummed me out. Mm-hmm. I feel like people think that they're being subtle with it or they're not consciously aware of it, but on the flip side, especially when we talk about like tattoo shop environments, I don't necessarily feel like tattoo artists are the most subtle about their fat phobia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely something where you can tell. You can tell. And it's like, you can tell when it's like something where someone wants a tattoo in like a specific place, and you can tell that the artist is just like, doesn't want to do it simply because of their size, and that it's going to be more work to like do it correctly. I feel like luckily where I work, everyone is extremely inclusive and extremely conscious and
aware. Accessible.
Yeah. Aware of, everyone, and we want to make everyone as comfortable as they possibly can in our shop. So I feel like I'm lucky in that regard, but the shop I was at previously was definitely not like that. And I used to have a client that I had to pierce him while in like the open tattoo area because one of our tables broke. Because it's literally was like a cheap like $200 like massage table off of Amazon made of wood. And so from then on, I just had to pierce him out in like the open area with everyone there because the tattoo chairs were like the tat soul chairs, which actually did have like a weight capacity on them, or like a larger weight capacity on them. And I just remember it being I felt so terrible because I told my boss at the time about it, and she's just like, well, just pierce him out in the lobby then. And I'm like, can we get like a table that like maybe everyone can sit on? It's like, no, just pierce him out in the lobby. I'm like, okay, that's really cool, I guess.
I hate that as your experience, and I hate that experience is so common at so many studios. Oh, yeah. Do you feel like your experiences in the industry have like differed greatly from your experiences as a client before you started?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I've always been like, I'm tall. I'm, 5'10", and I've always been like larger. I feel like before I got into the industry, I was like definitely like smaller and probably not categorized as like a fat person at that time. But that was also when I was struggling with like a horrible eating disorder. So now that I'm actually healthy and happy, I've been in the industry that entire time, and like through becoming more successful as a piercer, I've also become a lot more confident and body positive of myself, that now I just own the space that I'm in. And
oh, there are some dogs barking.
A little kid on a bike running away. Yeah, it took a really long time to become as confident as I am. And I definitely do have moments where I feel inferior because I don't look like other piercers in the industry, because I am a larger person. And I feel like...
Well, I feel like the industry has a huge problem with only featuring small bodies, especially jewelry companies.
Yeah, very small bodies, which is super unfortunate.
There's some... I meant for this video to be positive, but now we're just ranting. There's some very big name jewelry companies that have been called out multiple times in like over the course of like years, like 5 or 10 years, for always featuring the exact same body type, and they basically haven't done anything about that.
Yeah, and I've definitely seen some campaigns of larger bodies, like not even like for jewelry companies, but for like folks. Cassie's web store.
Yes.
Cassie's web store has a lot of larger bodies on there, showing off jewelry and different things, and I love that. And then like when you were at Icon and you did was it
that
like
photo shoot for
the photo shoot for the lobby? Yeah. That was so awesome to see. But yeah, it's very far and few between where you do actually see that.
My client Bex, who I interviewed for my blog post about this, made a really good point about like the archetype of the fat woman, and like you can be like floral and pretty and flowy and flouncy, or like casual, but there's no like alternative. Like there's the fat funny tattooed guy for fat men, but there's nothing like that for women. So you don't see any of that representation alternative. It's like the constant complaint about Torrid, how it's always like ugly.
So I'm a Torrid bitch. I buy a lot of stuff from Torrid, but it's always black stuff, and I mush it all together into like a bunch of different things. But yeah,
why do they put Mickey Mouse on everything?
I hate Mickey Mouse. I hate Disney. Like, I like Disney, but I hate, like, I'm not gonna wear Disney. I'm not doing that. But yeah,
they do
everything.
It's Mickey Mouse heads on everything.
Everything. Mickey Mouse heads on everything, and just like t-shirts with like the stupidest fucking things on them. But yeah, it's hard. And I mean, it's getting a little bit better with like the alternative fashion. Like there are a lot of like plus size models in alternative fashion for like Hot Topic has like, because also Hot Topic is owned by Torrid. So their sizing is nice because it kind of helps with that. But yeah, there's some like alternative spaces for that. There's also like
I think
Killstar and
I think TikTok has helped a lot with that representation too, is like seeing people of all body types in different like countercultures and different fashions, and giving like exposure to that. But the piercing industry is just like, and the tattoo industry is kind of like far behind. Yeah, I would sell a kidney to see a full-figured woman on like Inked magazine. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I remember like, gosh, years ago, there was this woman who was on Ink Masters. And I remember I was so excited because it was the first time I saw someone who had the same body type as me being like heavily tattooed and being a successful tattoo artist. And I was so stoked about that. And I was like, wow, like this is finally like the representation I wanted. But it literally took so long. And that's like the last time I think they were on Ink Master like 8 years ago. Oh God. Like, granted, I don't watch Ink Master anymore, but yeah, it's just
I mean, you're that representation now for people on TikTok.
Yeah.
I I mean, you are, though. I see it in your comments. I see people, like, commenting and talking about how excited they are to, like, see you and see that. And, like, representation like that is so important.
And I definitely, I'm for a really long time, I really kind of tried to hide myself on TikTok and just show, like, my face up because...
I'm stealing your Q-tip.
Do it. Because I was self-conscious about that and because I didn't want people to comment on my body. But I don't remember where it was probably a TikTok where I saw, and it was just like, I'm fat in a t-shirt and I'm fat in a crop top, so I might as well just wear what the fuck I want to wear. And that suddenly resonated with me, and I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter what I'm wearing. I look the same, so I might as well just like fucking wear something that's cute. And so that's like when I really got into like crop tops and things like that, where like a lot of people, I hate the, I had a client who was larger like myself, who was like, I wish I was as confident as you and could wear stuff like that. And I was like, you can, like, wear it.
Yeah.
Like, wear it. Who cares? Like, we're going to look the same regardless of what clothes are on our body. So just wear the clothes you want to wear. And I remember, like, that was, like, a pretty pivotal moment of, like, I need to just, like, own this and be who I am and stop trying to, like, be somebody else.
I think that's really important because you are that representation for clients who don't often see that. It was actually, the phone interview I did with Bex for that blog post ended up like 3.5 hours long. She's a very good client of mine and I could talk to her for forever, and that's great, but it's a problem when you're trying to do an interview because we would get sidetracked constantly. But I was telling her about Cal, who I interviewed for that as well, and you, and like we ended up like sending Instagrams and stuff. I think she follows you now, but she was like, it's so exciting to see like another heavily tattooed.
Yes.
Like she was like, she has face tattoos, and I always felt like I couldn't have face tattoos.
No,
and I was
you can
like,
have face
yes,
tattoos.
you can have face tattoos, and that like that representation is like so powerful. And she was like so excited that there were like bigger piercers. Like she just hadn't seen it. And to be fair, if you look on like regular social media and stuff, that's not there. But I think like even just you making your regular educational content and like doing what you already do on TikTok and just doing it confidently is so important for clients to see that version of themselves.
Yeah. And like I remember, because like when I've been in this industry a long time, but I haven't been in this industry well for a very long time. So when I first started becoming friends on Facebook with other like APP members and other like piercers that are like doing really good piercings with high quality jewelry, I remember when I found Cal, and I was like, oh my God, like I was so excited to find someone who was a larger person who is so heavily tattooed, and her tattoos are so gorgeous.
She's a goddess, and all of her tattoos are like so unforgivingly like
perfect.
She commits, and
and everything.
They're colorful, and they're
so
bright.
Beautiful. And like I remember seeing her and just being like, wow, like I look up so much to her, and like she probably doesn't even actually know who I am, which is even funnier. But like I love her so much.
I guarantee you she knows exactly who she is. I'm gonna send her this video before I posted it, and she's gonna message me and be like, I threw up and cried.
So when I used to work at another shop, we weren't allowed to have our own personality. We were kind of all supposed to be the same person and do everything exactly the same and have the same like way we speak and the same way that we interact.
Gross.
So when other people would come in and say, oh, I got pierced by this person, and they wouldn't know our names because we're all supposed to be the same person. So I was always the big girl. And so that's how everyone differentiated with me. And at that time I was super self-conscious of who I was, which even then, like I was like 60 pounds like lighter than I am now then. And I was still like, I was still being treated like that. And I started getting into makeup, and I actually went to cosmetology school to learn how to be a makeup artist. Yeah, to be a makeup artist. I didn't do like anything hair related. I went
double threat.
I had to go to a different state to get certified just for makeup and not everything. But anyways, I started getting into makeup because I was like, oh well, if I can't control how my body looks, I can do really cool makeup, and that's how people can differentiate me from everyone else, because everyone else didn't do really fun, crazy, cool makeup and stuff. Which now is funny because I do a very minimalistic makeup look pretty often, because I'm just tired and I don't want to put in the effort to do it. But I used to literally go all out every single day and just do like this crazy makeup, and people would always compliment how pretty my makeup was, and it was my way of being like, again, people don't comment on like how pretty I am, but they would comment on how pretty my makeup was, but it was enough of a compliment to get me through the day. Because I was so depressed and so bad back then. Aww. So that's why I got really good at makeup, was because it was like where I could take back control of how my body looked and felt.
I mean, that makes me want to cry, because it's sad to think about little Paige going through that. But also, like, I think it's really cool that you were able to turn to that as a coping mechanism. Mm-hmm. And I think makeup, but also by extension, like hair and nails and tattoos and piercings can be that for a lot of clients, especially if you feel insecure about your body or don't feel comfortable with your body. But I talk about like gender affirming piercings all the time, and like the septum piercing is the queer piercing, the gay piercing, according to the internet. Mm-hmm. And there are these piercings that really help people feel secure in their body and secure in their gender and their gender identity. And I think makeup, but also hair and nails and tattoos and piercings can also do that for clients who are bigger, yes. And just be something that you can use almost as like a coping mechanism, as a crutch to help you get to that place where you're comfortable and confident with your body, where like you can get these piercings and learn to love these piercings, and these piercings are on your body, and by extension, like learn to love your body and learn to show kindness to your body.
And take care of your body, because you have to take care of these piercings.
Yeah. And you have to like look at and spend time with parts of your body that you probably prefer to avoid. Mm-hmm. And learn to like be kind to those parts of your body.
There's a big trend I've seen on TikTok of larger people getting their stomach tattooed.
Yes.
Which I love so much, and I want my stomach tattooed so bad, and it's not for because I don't think I deserve it. It's because I'm a huge baby and I hate getting tattooed, and I know how bad it's going to hurt. But I want my stomach tattooed so bad.
Stomach tattoos are rough.
And I love seeing all of these larger bodies on TikTok saying like, get your stomach tattooed, or like, my thing was like, I never really liked how my legs looked, so getting my legs tattooed made me really comfortable in shorts, and now I just can wear shorts all the time, and I don't even think twice about it.
What would you get on your stomach?
Oh, I want a big Baphomet or a Black Phillip on my stomach. We've already been talking about it with my my coworker John. He's really excited to do it.
I think a big Baphomet would be dope.
Mm-hmm. And then also, doing my getting my chest done too, because I've been getting my
oh yeah, because you've been doing laser.
Yeah, I've been getting laser removal. Fucking awful. It's not like it's getting it done isn't like terrible.
Don't lie. I had laser. Don't lie.
Some of them are really bad. Some of them make you want to cry. Some of them it just feels like a rubber band snapping you a bunch, and it's bearable. But it's so...
Yours are like on the
like, giddies. Oh yeah, I have these ones, and then I have this one way down here.
Oh wow, that's faded a lot though. How many sessions is that?
6.
God damn, no thank you.
6 sessions, yeah.
Ooh. I think it's really important too, like we talked earlier about like representation really matters, but like sitting down and having these candid conversations, and for like clients to be able to see piercers who look like them and like tattoo artists who look like them, and like talk about these things very frankly, because like there is a problem with fat phobia in the industry, and we do need to acknowledge it, and there is like a lot of work to be done to make that better. But I also think that just like seeing that it hasn't stopped folks, and seeing that there are people who are like beautiful, successful piercers who are like, dude, like you own your own shop, dude.
My own business within a shop, but yeah.
it's the piercing shop within a tattoo shop. It's your own shop. Don't even sell yourself short. You're trying to minimize it, even though you're like, well, it's not my own shop, it's my own business within a shop. It's your own shop. You own the piercing side.
Yes.
Don't make it smaller. That's huge.
To anyone who is larger bodied and is afraid to either get into the industry or be a part of the industry or get tattooed or get pierced, just don't be afraid. there are going to be some places you go where people are dicks, and that sucks. And the moment that happens, you don't give them your attention, you just leave. Just leave. There are spaces out there where people appreciate you no matter what you look like, what you sound like, what size you are. Just seek out those places and you will be welcomed with open arms there. There's something that I could tell my younger self that would have been so beneficial, is that as someone who struggled so much trying to lose weight and trying to fit a certain image, you're going to look the same being tattooed or not being tattooed. You're going to look the same wearing a crop top. You're going to look the same wearing a t-shirt. It's your body. You only have one of them. So you should decorate it and dress and be the way you want to be, and stop waiting for, oh, I'll do this when I'm skinnier, or I'll do this when I'm like more athletic. Like, just do it now, because that's so stupid to wait and like miss out on so many cool opportunities and cool things just because you think that your size doesn't fit into like a category of fashion or an aesthetic. Just do it now.
I think it's extra difficult for me because this is an industry that's so founded on like self-expression and like loving yourself and embracing your authentic self. And the fact that the industry as a whole has such a big problem with representation of larger clients and like representation of fat bodies, and like even the way the industry treats fat as like a dirty word when it comes to like piercings and anatomy and stuff is awful. And all of those are things that we need to acknowledge. But the biggest thing I think we can do is just like, you gotta not be afraid to take up space.
No.
Like, go into the studio, get the tattoo, get the piercing, post the pictures of yourself, like, apply to model for the companies, submit yourself for the magazines, like, go on the shows, like, do the things, like, remind people that, like, you're here and you exist and you are a part of this industry. You're an important part of this industry.
Yeah.
And you deserve just as much representation and to enjoy all of the benefits that this industry has to offer as far as like being in your body and like learning to build a healthy relationship with your body that literally every single other client does. All right, we finished with our fun makeup for today. Now we're about to head into the studio and do everyone's fun sparkly piercings. I'm here for like another week.
The rest of the week?
The rest of the week. Hell yeah. I'm so glad we got the chance to sit down and talk about this. And I really hope to anyone watching, and I really hope to anyone watching at home, especially anyone who struggles like with feeling insecure in their body, and especially any of my followers and subscribers who are bigger, it helps to see this representation, and it helps to remember that you are literally perfect exactly the way you are, that you don't have to wait to lose weight or do anything else to do the things that you want to do for your body, and that body modification, especially piercings and especially tattoos, are for your body as well.
They're for everyone.
They're for everyone. All right, folks, thanks so much for sitting down and hanging out. If you like this format and you'd like to see me do more like try to get ready with me's or even like interviews and stuff with piercers while I guest and travel, let me know in the comments down below. And I'm sure we'll sit down and hang out again soon. Bye.